Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, there's been a little bit of an interesting topic going on over here when it comes to the PlayStation 5, both the disc and digital, kind of shortage, and kind of a lot of people kind of speculating on if it actually has finally gotten to the point where it seems like it's letting on up. We finally have had a lot of really good restocks going on, and of course as well, scalping prices have actually also gone down a decent bit too as well. Now, I do want to go and say all this stuff is actually very, very intriguing and also very, very good. But as well, we also actually want to go look at the overall, kind of basically the numbers and what we saw as of last year too, to kind of go and see if this really is the case. Though at the end of the day, I do want to go and say the amount of people getting normal consoles, the amount of folks actually getting consoles, and the amount of also different types of big retailers dealing with botting and scalping and everything else has actually also been an extremely nice positive addition when it comes to all these restocks. So I'm gonna kind of go talk about, like, is the shortage actually finally letting on up, what to kind of expect, what to expect these next few months if we still have actually not gotten our consoles by the time, you know, Christmas and all the holidays roll on in, and all that good stuff. I would go and say most of this actually is pretty good news, at least in my opinion, but we have a lot to go and talk about and ramble on into, so let's go and talk about it. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc digital console controller. We're still waiting for the Amazon drop, kind of a big focus throughout these next probably 10 days or so. So we're rocking that stuff on out. As well, we also do have the Samsung links down below, the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, you guys go get a bunch of free stock and free money. Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Those are always linked down below. And let's go dive in the video. If you guys want to give your thoughts and comments down below, you guys totally can. So, and the big premise of this is we've had quite a few folks actually get a lot of W's when it comes to both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X's. And as well, we also have actually seen, as I mentioned, a little bit of a lower price when it comes to third-party sellers. Also included on that for, like, you know, just the general, like, StockX, eBay, Facebook, and all of that. But I kind of want to go and put a little bit of caution, put a little, like, you know, little, like, spike in the wheel, no, say to say. But right now, this is at the point where it's almost done. We're slowly getting there, and I'm sure folks have heard this and have seen this and that have people talk about this time and time and time again, because we do kind of go in cycles. Kind of the same thing too when it comes to stock market, crypto market, whatever it is. Sometimes you have that uptick of, well, we haven't had a good restock in 2-3 weeks. We haven't had a restock in a month. And then sometimes it's like, hey, we had back-to-back restocks, and everyone who wants to get their consoles as of the second, well, thankfully got their consoles. So let's go talk about this. So I would go and say right now, we're in a really good kind of inflection point when it comes to where the console stocks are. And as we've also seen, we've had a little bit of bad news with Sony saying stuff like they still have to kind of cut down the production, cut down the amount of like consoles being moved around. But as well, at the same time, we also had really big Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday deals. So one intriguing thing to note is around right now, we have actually probably seen one of the lowest, if not probably pretty much the lowest prices when it comes to third-party sellers. So when it comes to this, I'm going to go show you guys up here on StockX because this is just the website, I guess, you know. Basically, when it comes to this, we actually could, you go look. As of last year, we saw quite a few very large numbers around like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so the $1,000 price, and it kind of slowly tapered down all the way to around the holidays. You guys can see, like, basically right after Christmas, we had a little bit of a dip for about like 1 or 2 weeks. And this is where I kind of want you guys to go pull your attention on, because it is good. Like, if you guys have looked at kind of the general prices over here these past few weeks, especially right after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we actually had a very nice small uptick, or I guess downtick of prices. So right now it's only like $710, $718 as they had a little bit of a Christmas bump. But we could also kind of go and put the same thing, right after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, where kind of the mania is kind of the highest, even seeing over here, as you guys can go and see around these few days. We also had like a little bit of a downtick, but then right afterwards, as soon as the new year kind of started, that's sometimes when things get a little bit more on the drier side. We actually did have a small uptick ever since from then, and then it kind of went up and down depending on the time and frame on the restocks. And then we also, as you guys can even see over here from March, this is probably the lowest price we probably have ever seen pretty much ever. And a lot of folks out there were like, okay, this must be kind of good. It means like we could finally start getting our consoles normally, finally get to like just go into a store and get them. And then sadly, once again, kind of sparked back on up. And then we had the prices back over to around even the Christmas times all throughout, well, the middle of the year. Thankfully, if you just kind of look at the downtrend, it does kind of seem like every now and then it has that nice little downwards trend. So let's go and talk about this information I showed you guys. So as you guys can go and see, when it comes to consoles, I think, are finally slowly getting to the point where it's just easy. There was actually a Reddit thread talking about this, so I kind of want to bring it up myself because I thought it was just intriguing. There is a certain point where it's just not worth it for both botters and scalpers alike to want to go invest into consoles. Because while the consoles themselves are $500 or $400, depending on which console you get, They also do have other things mixed in with like shipping or also taxes, where the profits kind of basically just go away. So if you're trying to go and sell a console as of right this second, or let's go and say $710, which it was like a week ago or so, you're basically only making $100 when it comes to per console. Now, some folks, that might be kind of good as a side hustle, whatever you guys are doing. But at the end of the day, guess what? The less money you make, the less likely you want to go and keep on doing it, because it's harder to go make the same profits. If you're making $5,000 a month doing it, you're on top of the world. You're over here, you're like, yeah, man, I'm going to go buy a brand new car. I'm buying my wife a Gucci purse, whatever. But once you're starting making only maybe like $2,000 a month, that's still not bad. I'm not knocking anyone who's only making $2,000 a month, but the amount of effort, the amount of time, and the amount of kind of worry and the stress of having to deal with this stuff, driving a post office, having to pay taxes, sitting on stock for a long time, is just not as good when it comes to scalpers. And now, once again, this is at like this current price. So now let's go imagine one's at $600 and you're barely making any money. You're making maybe $30, $40 a console. Does anyone really want to go through the entire effort of having to go drive to a random, like UPS? You really want to go over there after a hard day at work? No, you don't want to go do that. You're not going to go waste your time for $40, $50, let alone dealing with people, having to go organize stuff, look at listings, having to go all that stuff. No one wants to do that. So right now, we're in like this awkward 3 to 5 month period where we're almost, I think, out of the shortage. We're almost out of, at least in terms of the hardcore, the like crazy stuff, the scalpers, the botters, every single drop. And that's kind of like almost like a compounding tornado effect. If less people are making money, that means that less botters are going to be buying consoles, which means less scalpers are going to be buying consoles, which means that more normal folks are easily getting consoles on these drops. And then as well, that means there's also even less folks out there that are trying to go and buy and get consoles because they already have them. They already bought them because this, like the extra 10,000 consoles per restock, instead of going to botters and scalpers, are going to just normal individual folks that once again are not going to be buying stuff from third-party sellers. It's kind of like the big aspect of basically you don't want to be involved with scalpers, because if you kind of go and hold them out and short squeeze out their stock, then guess what? They have to keep on selling at lower and lower and lower prices, which kind of then demoralizes them even more and more and more to not want to keep on buying stock. Because if you have to go and spend a bunch of hours to make $500, you're not going to want to do that. You're not going to want to waste the time to go and do that. And you'd rather go get a job at DoorDash, you'd go do a side hustle, you'll try to go and scheme up something else that's going on. And then eventually, once that really big interest kind of goes and falls away, it's almost like playing Jenga. You remove that one piece and it's still kind of stable there. You remove another piece, it's kind of a little wobbly. But once you get one of all the botter scalpers, and also the third thing of retailers kind of finally addressing all of these issues with botters and scalpers, then all of the pieces kind of fall apart, and then we can go and see more stores in stock. So basically right now, we did have a kind of a big restock, though. I do want to say this. We did have a really big restock wave for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And as of last year, I did remember a really big, awkward, like 2 to 3 week pause where we basically didn't see that many console restocks. But at the same time, too, as well, the fact that we're over a year, and that just means that a lot of folks that have been trying to get their consoles as of recently have finally already gotten their consoles, it's just a nice sign. That means that we're finally kind of losing some stress. We're finally losing some of this pressure. And thankfully, the more and more people who kind of take a step away and try to get off these restocks and trying to get off a scalp in these restocks, that just means that more folks will finally go get their consoles. And when you kind of go and see then the prices, we're seeing a lot less interest on eBay, on Facebook, and all these other various locations, which I think is fantastic, because that means more normal folks, when we have an Amazon drop or Walmart restock, have a chance to get the consoles. And that's awesome. I do like this. We're not fully out of the straight yet. We're not fully out of the, this drought. We still have to have Sony make more consoles. I'm sure the prices might have a little bit more of an uptake right after the holidays are all done. But at the same time, too, it does give us more freedom to have a little bit less pressure on these drops, a little bit less pressure on these restocks, and overall, hopefully more of you guys getting your consoles. And lastly, too, we also have seen a lot more of these bigger retailers, GameStop, selling $800 bundles, which, I mean, is annoying. I would rather go just buy the console normally, but if it stops scalpers and it stops botters, I'm all for it. Walmart Plus adding on another like $13 a month subscription plan. Guess what? That's $13 away from scalpers and botters, where they're not going to be making even more profit, which once again deters them from wanting to get stock. Best Buy total tech drops for $200. No one in their right minds are going to be spending $200 when they can make $5 then reselling the consoles. And same thing for a few of the various places too. Like, we haven't seen such good anti-botting, anti-scalping measures from, say, Target, and a few other various places such as Amazon on occasion, besides them adding Prime and all that. But I do kind of feel like right now we're almost on that golden zone where anyone who really wants to get a PlayStation or Xbox, especially for Xbox, because we keep on seeing them popping up everywhere up on Target, we're almost at that freedom point where once we kind of hit that inflection point where it's probably like $650, maybe $620 on these third-party seller sites, that we can find is hopefully have a lot more easier to restocks, and it should be a lot easier for all of you guys at your consoles, and we can kind of have that freedom of not having to go and sit on our phones 24/7 on Twitter or on YouTube and all this stuff, and I can finally go take a day off as per usual. So it's kind of a nice little, I guess, kind of nice holiday cheer to kind of give you guys that little extra bit of motivation, because I do like seeing people getting their consoles, especially when they're not scalpers and botters. So if you guys want to give your thoughts and comments down below, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 digital console controller, because that is on the way. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get a bunch of free stock and free money. Coinbase too as well. Those are all linked down below. And I do appreciate you guys so much for watching, hanging out and chilling. And I'll see you guys up later on throughout tonight for some more brand new videos. Love you guys.